This man has had 2 assassination attempts on his life. And you know what he's done both times? He's gotten up. He's gotten on the campaign trail. He has spoken to the American people time after time. When most of us, even people watching, right, like Judy and Ordis and Roro, after that, we would say, you know what? That's enough to make me sit down. I'll run a campaign virtually or whatever. I'm not going back out in public. Trump said, no, I'm going right back to work. After the first assassination attempt, he goes to the RNC, he gives a speech, he does what he's supposed to do, and he stays there all 4 days. Unlike Joe Biden, who came the first day and left when Kamala Harris was handpicked. And then he goes again, something else happens to him. What happens? He goes to New York to then host another rally. I wouldn't have done that, but he's trying to say, I'm not just here to think that I'm going to get your vote. I have to earn your vote. Even though I was former president, I still need to get out here and I need to reach the people. A man that works. I don't understand how you cannot respect a man like that. His life was in danger twice, and he got right back to work. That's what real men do. I bet you some of y'all beta men, liberal men would have been, oh no, we're not going to do that. Joe Biden probably wouldn't have never. We're in the basement. But you have to respect this man. 4 years of nothing but lawfare, throwing convictions on him, wanting to throw him in jail. Life has been threatened twice already. And the man gets right back up and says, I got to go out here and work.
Wait a minute.
You mean to tell me you don't respect just an average individual who would do something like that? I'm sure most of us would. Even the liberals. But the problem is, when you say the word Trump in front of all of that, they say, oh, no. A dead clock can be right twice a day. But if it's Donald Trump's clock, it's always wrong. If I gave someone the characteristics of Trump, people would say, oh, yeah, I would love this guy. I would work with this guy. I would have him be a leader. And if I told them that represents Trump, they would say, oh, absolutely not. Oh, what about January 6th? Oh, what about this? What about that? What about this? What about that? The truth is, Trump is more of an American than Kamala Harris and your crooked man Joe Biden has been, even though he's been a senator for 40, 50-something years. He's more of an American than them, than a lot of those people that are sitting up in these offices in the Capitol. This man did not take a salary that was worth $450,000. And the media was trying to create a story on this man, waiting for him to take the money so they could talk about him. They don't talk about it because they can't. What president you know that hasn't taken the salary? It's a job. He said, no, I don't need it. I'm here, I'm going to drain the swamp. What president have you ever heard say that? This is why they fear Donald Trump. He's not for all that other stuff that the politicians have been running game on us for a long time. He ain't for that, man. He's like, listen, man, I'm about to come here. I'm going to drain the swamp. I'm going to go ahead and edit the federal government. And I'm going to go at these people because even when he was in office, he was going at those people. And we like to say the government is corrupt. But when he goes at the government, oh, now you want to call them all type of names. I respect the fact that there's a different type of presidential when it comes to Donald Trump. He's a different type of president. He's not this politically correct president. That politically correct stuff, man, y'all can keep it. Most people want somebody who's real. Donald Trump does not have the best delivery when it comes to him speaking. Neither do I. But I get what he's saying. Let me get to y'all comments. Yep. And that's what I said, man. They tried to blame Trump for somebody coming at him. You know what I'm saying? They would have never said that in any other instance, right? Let me change this background real quick, y'all. This is bothering the heck out of me. Background. All right, cool. That way I can see it. All right, so they poked the dog over and over. The dog finally bit them, and now they want to put it down. Let me see what this last one says. Now they have a $150,000 bounty on them. And now there's finally stories coming out saying that possibly Iran is behind this. There's no actual proof of this yet, but they're saying that Iran might be behind it, which could be true. But I do find it interesting that not even a couple hours after the second attempt, meaning the media, they were trying to tie the shooter to being a Trump supporter. It's pretty disgusting. Like it was their way of saying, oh, if he's a Trump supporter, well, it's not our problem. We don't have to cover it. And the dude was a freaking crazy lunatic asking people to come fight with him out in Ukraine. When you go to Google Maps and you pass by his house, there's a Joe Biden and Harris sticker right on his car. And he donated to Act Blue. So this dude is a straight up Democrat. Does it matter? No, it doesn't matter. You can tie him to whether he's Republican or Democrat, but once we pass that, we still need to understand the motive. We still need to understand, is he acting alone? Is there a bigger group behind it? And this is where your news stations are not doing their damn job. They just care too much about, is it a Trump supporter? And then they're so quick to try to get a little bit of something, they actually bit on that and start trying to put that out there until it was confirmed that this man wrote a book. He had videos of him talking about Ukraine. They pulled up posts of him talking about Trump in a bad way. And then they look stupid. That's what they did with the first shooter, with Crooks. They tried to say, oh, he's a Trump supporter. That's exactly what they did. They said, oh, he's a Trump supporter. Oh, let me get this out of the way. He's a Trump supporter. They said that they seen a sign in his lawn that said was Trump. Really? That's all y'all got. As if this man not living at home with his parents, and that's his sign. The man tried to shoot at a former president. Who gives a damn if he's a Trump supporter or if he's a Biden supporter? Let's find out why he's doing it and who put him up to it. It's one of the most insane things. Or it says, Roth offered the money allegedly. DOJ released a letter from him. Offered the money? Roth offered the money allegedly? He was offered money, you mean? Was he offered money? I'm just not convinced, in one sense, I'm a little nervous. I'm going to be honest with y'all because this is the second attempt in 2 months, right? And Trump has a chance of winning. And I don't know if the threats get more progressive as we get closer to election, because for 4 years, from what we know, it hasn't been brought up in the media to where someone tried to try to off Trump. But all of a sudden, he becomes candidate, problem. He's doing pretty good in the polls, which just indicate that it's going to be a tight race, which means he has a chance, and there's another one on him. I'm just hoping they don't resort to the bombing. I'm hoping they don't resort to something else. It's getting out of hand. And it's to the point where you start to see how they're actually polarizing him, right? They're putting him on the news. They're going against him. They're saying the things that he's trying to do, and they flip his words. They're the ones that aren't covering the real issues that actually are happening to him. It's always negative, negative, negative. And this is what's creating a bigger division because people are like, hey, he just did this. This was right. He goes to Arlington, went to go honor the soldiers. And then they flip it and say, well, look what he did. He tried to make it a publicity thing. I'm like, come on. They're making Trump more polarizing. All right. Shout out to Michelle.
Audio Jungle.
All right, Michelle. Ramiro. It's Ramiro, right? Ramiro, I seen you in the comments. You got at me. I was like, oh, okay, all right. Well, you know, I tried. So she got at me in the comments. She said, yeah, the name is not Romano, sir. It is definitely Ramiro. All right. So yeah, man, it's definitely crazy. I think we'll get to the next.